Some assembly required.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSports Money, ZSM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and today we're going to be going over my guide to jungling Clockwerk. So, before we really get into the meat of this guide, I just want to say this guide was one of the most tedious ones I've made since I've started making guides again. The hero is okay at jungling, but to really get the jungling speed that you want, you're going to need to put points in your rocket, in your flare, because it's just extra AoE damage that you can do. And if you do that, then you're useless level 6 because you don't have points in cogs. So I put points in cogs, and I max my Q by battery assault by level 7 so that I can gank people and actually be useful when I leave the jungle. This is an okay run. I wouldn't say I made a couple of mistakes. I mean, I made a couple of decisions that might not have been the most efficient. It's not too bad, but I did get a couple of bad rolls in terms of camps. But either way, I get a blade mail by around 8 minutes, and I'm very, very close to level 7. I believe I'm level 6, about to level 7 at 8 minutes, and I have as many points as I can possibly have in battery assault, and then 2 points in cogs. So, again, takes you up to 8 minutes to get it, but you've got the blade mail, and you can actually be useful in game. So, skill build. Already talked about that a lot. It's pretty standard in my opinion, except I'm not getting a point in flare because I want to gank people. If you're okay with not being able to really gank people as well at level 7, then you can get a point or 2 in flare, but really, I mean, you want cogs so that you can kill people with your hook. That's what kind of the mechanics that make the hero good. So, skill build we've already talked about. Item build. I start out with my Iron Talon and Tangos, I get a Stout Shield, and then I just buy everything from the Blade Mill that I possibly can. There may be a time where you want to buy a Salve if you cannot use the Shrines in your jungle. That'll only set you back, 110 gold, so it's not that big of a deal. But the first item I'll buy off of the Blade Mail is going to be my Chainmail, because I want the extra defense, because Clock is a hero that struggles a little bit with offense, but he struggles more with defense. If he had a shorter cooldown on battery assault, he'd be a monster jungler. Like, if the hero had, like, let's say half the cooldown of battery assault, you would just rush a soul ring on the hero every single time, and he would just clear the jungle in no time at all. His battery assault's actually pretty freaking good. But it's also not very good against the golems, because the golems have 50% magic resist, or 70% magic resist, something ridiculously high. So if you get golems, it's kind of a bad roll. You'll see me fighting the troll camp, and after I go for it a second time, it's so difficult to choke them, and you're trying to kill them as fast as possible anyway that I don't even bother choking them sometimes. I just run and fight them once I'm level 3 or higher. So I'm pretty much just going to run around the entire jungle, choke pointing as often as I can. Again, I'm not going to try it on this camp right now. You can use cogs like I tried to do here to do a little bit of extra damage, and I kind of whiffed it here, but again, it's only going to do 80 damage per unit. So it's not really worth it to use. The only reason that I would suggest attempting using it is because your cooldown on battery assault is so long that mana is not really a limiting resource for Clock. Like, it's kind of hard for you to run out of mana if you're only using battery assault, because it has a really long cooldown and doesn't cost that much mana. I'm also, you can do this a little bit differently if you want, but I typically just get my damage item next rather than the Robes of the Magi. Is it called Robes? Whatever it is. The 450 gold 6 int item. I usually just don't even get that until the end, because it doesn't help me jungle at all, because I'm usually not out of mana anyway, because the hero, he's not super mana starved. I believe I'll be pretty low on mana at one point here, but I'm so low on health that I might as well just go back and use a shrine. So it doesn't really make sense for you to buy it. The only reason I would suggest buying it is if you have it on your quick buy and you're about to get ganked. Alright, notice what I did right there. I knew I was going to leave the area I was in, and I wanted to burn my Iron Town cooldown before I left, and I used it on the small camp instead of the hard camp. Normally I would use it on the big creep in the hard camp, but the big creep there was the Satyr, who has the regen aura, so he'd be at full health by the time I got back. The Satyr camp, if you get a large Satyr camp, it's really important to kill the big one as quickly as possible, because the little ones will have like plus or a total of 6.5 regen. I know the medium one has a total of 6.5 HP regen, which is just absurd. So I think that about sums it up. You could see me cut from jungle to jungle there and go over and use the secondary shrine. In a real match, you may have to take like 5 seconds, 10 seconds out of your jungle to go back to base and use one of the shrines on the edge of the interior of your base, because your offlaner may have used it already. Remember to always let your mid know if you're going to use the shrine. Usually a mid won't have a problem with a jungle using the shrine as long as you inform them of it, so they can at least get to full health or get topped off. So now I've got my blade. I'm going to go ahead and choke point jungle these guys. And again, I'm not going to be able to fight the big one the entire time, but I'm doing so much damage now that it's not as big of a deal. But again, I'm level 6 and about to finish up my blade mail. And we are encroaching upon 8 minutes. I'm going to double bounty rune again. And that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you find this guide helpful. Again, I'm not sure whether I'd recommend jungling him or not. But if you get away with it, no one tries to come gank you, and you have an 8-minute blade mail. It's not bad. The item scales really well. So thanks for watching. My name's Esports Bunny, ZSM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video, and have a wonderful day. Peace, guys.